Now, let us examine the 6 courts of Solomon's temple, and we are going to compare that to how that reflects in our lives today. The book of 1 Corinthians 3:16-17 says, "Do you know that you yourselves are God's temple, and that God's Spirit dwells in your midst? If anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy that person, for God's temple is sacred, and you together are that temple." This verse is telling us that our body, our life, is a temple of God. That means how we live, who we let in, and the access we grant must reflect God's holiness. To understand this better, let us look at Solomon's temple. Now, this temple wasn't just a building. It was God's given design. Every section had a meaning. It had a purpose, and it had restrictions. In Solomon's temple, there were 6 courts, each with a level of access and restrictions. And you cannot move from one court to the other without a security clearance or an eligibility to enter the next court. Let's walk through them and see how that mirrors our own lives. Now, the first court that you are going to get to as you approach the temple is what is called the court of the Gentiles. Now, this is usually the outermost court. It's open to everyone, even for the Jews and the non-Jews, the sinners. Remember, they call the Gentiles sinners. They usually refer to them as the sinners. So everyone is like marketplace, is around the temple. And I believe when Jesus, if you remember the story that Jesus said, "My Father is not a house for trading, it's a house of worship," that was actually the outer court, which is the court of the Gentiles. It was the outside and the environment around the temple. Crowds gathered there and people could come in and grow freely. In our lives, this is like the world around us. Strangers, people will pass on the street, those we don't really know, and they don't have access to us. Those people, they're just people we brush by every day as we got on in our everyday lives. And a lot of them don't have access. They don't know a lot about us. Most of them don't even know our names. But even